So again, welcome. And this is the first DSF Connect event that DSF is sponsoring for this semester. This particular one, it will feature one of our general ministries, which is the Pension Fund. And we're so grateful to have the Reverend Gabriel Lopez and Rod here with us today to help us know more about the pension fund. But let's begin our time with a opening prayer. And Reverend Shaban Lopez is going to pray us into this space. Shobi?
Good afternoon. I am Siobhan Lopez, or Shobi, as some of you may know, and I serve as a program coordinator for DSF, and it is a pleasure to be with you all today. So before we get into our program, we definitely wanted to open with a prayer of blessing. Let us pray. Loving God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time together that allows for us to engage with our ministry partners who provide care and support for us. As we study, pray, meditate, and explore our vocation or vocations, we are thankful for the embrace of community who holds us with care and who help us to cultivate joyous and abundant lives. May we continue to hold one another in love and grace as we learn and listen together of the resources available to help us along this road that we call ministry and life. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Shobi. I'm always excited to know who's in the room. And so we're going to take a few minutes to have a time of introduction to know who's here. So I'm going to invite, and let's do this in a couple of ways. I'm going to invite you to actually introduce yourselves, but you can also put the information in the chat so that we can have that information there as well. So here are the things I want us to do. I want you to say your name, the school where you are studying, if you're in school, or the place in which you're doing ministry, what degree program you are in right now, or which degree you've earned, and we'd like to know what your favorite dessert is. Because there's going to be some point in time when we're going to be together and we're going to want to think about, so what dessert should we share? And we'll come back and we'll look at this list of what people have identified as their favorite desserts. So, name, school, or ministry that you're involved in, degree program or degree you've earned, and your favorite dessert. And so when you introduce yourselves, when you're done, if you will pass it on to somebody else on the screen, and you can move your cursor so you can see names. So even if you don't really know the person, just call out their name to pass it on to the next person to introduce themselves. Okay, so I'll start by introducing who I am, and then I'll pass it on to someone else. I'm Belva Brown Jordan. I have the privilege of serving as the interim executive director of Disciple Seminary Foundation. Many years ago, I earned an MDiv from Bright Divinity School, and I am really pleased to be in this ministry in this particular position of executive director. And I also serve as the moderator for the Christian Church Disciples of Christ in the United States and Canada. My favorite dessert, hands down, key lime pie. So I'm going to toss this over to my dear friend Sandy.
Thanks, Belva. Well, that's a tough one, key lime pie. Okay, I'm Sandy Roberts, and I am a MDiv student at Claremont School of Theology, currently in my last year, and also just started an internship at University in San Diego. My fave dessert is, I would have to say, it's an English one. It's like an apple pie with custard on it, and in terms of custard that is like pourable, and it's just delectable. So that's it. I don't get it a lot, but I love it when I do. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw this over to Shobi.
Thank you, Sandy. So I am a CST alum. I earned my MDiv degree in 2016, can't remember. And I currently serve as co-pastor at East Whittier Christian Church alongside DSF as program coordinator and with youth and young adult programming for the region or the Pacific Southwest. And my favorite dessert, I mean, it changes every year, I'll be honest, but right now it's arroz con leche, which is like a rice pudding. So cinnamon, delicious, warm or cold, either way is the best way to go. Let's go with Gloria.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gloria Carr. I am at Claremont School of Theology in my first semester in the MDiv program. Oh, this has been a wonderful transition. Let's see, I think name. Okay. And my favorite dessert, I would have to say maybe German chocolate cake. Let me pass it on to my classmate, Connie.
Hi, Gloria. My name is Connie Savage Miroslav. I'm in the Claremont School of Theology program in my master's DIV program. And I like anything chocolate, particularly if it's a big layered chocolate cake with all kinds of different creams and mousses and lots of good stuff. And this is also my first semester at MDIV. I will pass it over to my good friend, Zaid.
You're on mute, Jay.
Thanks, Connie. I'm studying at Claremont also, and in January I'll be on the final leg. Yay! I'm getting there, but it's been a journey, and I'm currently serving as an intern at Tempe Community Christian, although my home is at Foothills, where Connie serves as a wonderful worship leader. And my favorite dessert is anything strawberry. And a close second is carrot cake. So it's a toss up. I invite Nettie.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Nettie Young, and I am a fourth year, the Victory Lap year MDiv student at San Francisco Theological Seminary. And I live on campus in San Anselmo with my partner, Isaiah, and 3 young children and 1 on the way. So it's very energetic here. I love dessert. I do have a sweet tooth, and I really love chocolate cake with ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Like the blend together is very satisfying. So that's my favorite dessert, but I enjoy all dessert of all types and varieties. I welcome it all. So thank you. I'm glad to be part of this, and I will pass it on to Lynette.
For some reason, I knew you were going to call me. So I look the way. Hi, everybody. My name is Lynette Lee. I am here in Denver, Colorado, attending the University of Denver Isler School of Theology's joint PhD program. I am in my first year. This is my first week of class, so I'm very excited. And my favorite dessert is rum and raisin ice cream. And it has to be Haagen-Dazs. So I'll pass it on to Gabrielle.
Thank you, Lynette. My name is Gabriel Lopez, Gabriel Lopez, Gabe Lopez. I answer to all three of them. I work currently for the pension fund of the Christian Church as an area director, part-time, and I also serve at Eastwood Christian Church with my partner, Shobi. And my favorite dessert is churros. There is Don Abel churros that's like popping up everywhere in LA. If you ever get to come to LA, go to Don Abel churros. They're homemade, they're perfect. And now we're all hungry. I will pass it on to Rip.
Thank you, Gabe. Hi, Rip Ripito, alum from 2019 Claremont MDiv. Just finished a call at Pacific Beach Christian Church and am now attending University Christian Church. And my favorite dessert is Bananas Foster. So let's see who's left. I'll just toss it to Rod.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm Ron Crawford. I am in the MDiv program at Claremont. I'm just starting my third year. I think it's going to take me 3.5 years to graduate. So December 2023 is my target here for finishing. And my favorite dessert, boy, this was tough. It was a toss-up between pecan pie, and then Zaid reminded me of carrot cake. And I'm going to give the nod to carrot cake because it counts as a vegetable. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And let me see. Aaron, I don't think we've heard from Aaron. Can I toss that to you?
I'm up. I'm pulling over right now so I could talk.
Okay.
So I'll just say I am a DMin student, first year for my doctorate in ministry. I'm a pastor for Live on Purpose Community Church in Vacaville, Davis, California. And my favorite dessert is banana pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all. I think, let's see.
And Aaron, I didn't hear, excuse me, what school, Aaron?
I'm sorry, PSR.
Okay, okay,
Thank you.
great. So anyone who hasn't introduced themselves, you can raise your hand. Okay, I think we've made the rounds.
We still need Rod, Belva.
Oh, I thought, oh, that was Ron, not Rod. Oh, there we go. Rod and Jess. That's right. Thank you. All right. So you all, it's a toss up between the two of you. Which one wants to go first? Rod.
All right, Jess, I'll go first. My name's Rod Whitty. I am a graduate from Colorado State University. I am not a minister. I live in Denver, Colorado. So Lynette, I need to take the opportunity sometime to at least get acquainted with you. And sure, we're right in each other's backyard. Gosh, all the desserts you guys named are all my favorites. I've got a huge sweet tooth. Ice cream of any kind would probably be at the top of my list, but pecan pie is a really close second. So thank you for reminding me of that. And Jess, it's all yours.
Thank you. My name is Jess Kim. I serve as the managing director at DSF. It's so great to be with you all and finally put names and faces of all of our new students. I graduated from CST in 2021 with an MDiv,
And my favorite dessert is a Korean dessert called songpyeong. It's a small rice cake filled with honey and sesame seeds. And I only get to eat it once or twice a year on like Korean holidays. So I try to eat as many as I can at once. And so the Korean Thanksgiving was just last week. So I think I had like 25 of them.
Good, good. All right. Well, thank you all for introducing yourselves. We really appreciate knowing who's in the room, and knowing that there are students and alums and DSF staff who are surrounding you with daily prayer and encouragement, even if we're not in the same city, town, in the same place at the same time. So it's really great. I'm going to turn it over to Jess Kim at this point, in which she's going to introduce our speakers, our presenters for today. Jess?
Thank you, Belva. I am delighted to have the opportunity to present our two speakers today. They are both dear friends of DSF, so please allow me to introduce them. Reverend Lopez has been serving with the Pension Fund of the Christian Church for 5 years as a part-time area director. He serves the Arizona region, the Obra Hispana churches in the West Coast, and NAPAD churches nationally. He is also serving at Iglesia Cristiana del Este de Whittier as a co-pastor. And as he said, he is a DSF and CST alum. Rod Whitty is an assistant vice president and area director for Pension Fund of the Christian Church. Rod has been with the Pension Fund for over 5 years and serves members in the 5 western regions of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ, including the PSWR, Northern California, Nevada, Oregon, Southwest Idaho, Northern Lights, and the Central Rocky Mountain region. Prior to coming to Pension Fund, he was a commercial banker for 30 plus years and was CEO of a nonprofit for 5 years. Rod lives in the Denver, Colorado area and works from his home. Please help us welcome Gabriel and Rod.
Thanks. Gabe, you want to start us off?
Yes, I'm sharing the presentation now. Can you guys see presentation? Is it on the play mode? On the theater mode, or? There we go. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, DSF, for giving us this opportunity. It's always awesome to come back to DSF and share what us who have gone what you're going through. What can we share back with those that are in the walk of seminary now? As Jess mentioned, Rod and I work for Pension Fund of the Christian Church, and this is the general ministry that serves ministers and employees of disciples organizations with retirement products. And our financial wellness is our main mission. And the programs and services we have available to you are all brought in within our mission. Rod?
Yeah, Gabe and I are going to kind of tag team a little bit. Why Pension Fund? Pension Fund has been around for a long time, 126 years. We are an organization within the Disciples. We have over 14,000 members throughout North America that we serve, and actually we're closer to 3.6 billion in assets. Right now, or closer to 4 billion in assets rather than 3.6. And the advantages of pension fund accounts, there are never any fees that are charged to any of your accounts. So any returns you receive are net returns, and you get personalized service from area directors such as Gabe and myself. And I will echo Gabe's comments. We're glad to be here with you today. And pension fund, let's see, Gabe, I think you were going to take this one.
Yes. So at Pension Fund, we always say that we are strong, smart, and secure. And I'll read each one of these because these are our core taglines. For over 125 years, pension funds' investment approach and consistent funding levels allow pension fund to remain strong even in times of economic uncertainty. And we've definitely seen that in the past couple of years. We are smart. Enrollment is the only requirement for you to benefit from our expertise in managing your financial assets. Simple and easy. And we are secure. In our history, not a single member has ever experienced a loss in account value due to poor market performance, and they continue to see their accounts grow. And like my colleague Rod always does, I want to repeat this one. In our history, not a single member has ever experienced a loss in account value due to poor market performance, and they continue to see their accounts grow. Which means that no accounts have ever gone down in our history. And we saw this in 2008, if you remember 2008, how the market was. And we saw it in the past couple of years with the same economic downfall.
How we help you on the road to financial wellness. Pension Fund only has just a handful of programs that we offer. Two of which are what we call employer-sponsored products, and that is the pension plan and the tax-deferred retirement account. For anybody to be eligible to contribute to one of these two accounts, you have to be working for an organization that we have what's called a participation agreement with, and the participation agreement just outlines who's eligible and what they're eligible for. Once you are a member of one of these two programs, then you're also eligible for the individual programs we offer, which is both the traditional and Roth IRA, and the only non-retirement account that we offer. It's a high yield savings account called the benefit accumulation account. And once you are a member, if you have a spouse, they are also eligible for any of the individual accounts, including rollovers. We're going to talk real briefly about the pension plan. It's the one plan that we're most excited about to visit with you about today, because there is an opportunity for each of you as a student. A pension plan you don't hear much about anymore. It was real popular back in the 50s and 60s. Once the 401ks came around and very different versions of that came around, pension plans kind of started to disappear because pension plans have a little bit more risk to the organization that's providing it. But what a pension is, it's guaranteed monthly payment for life for you and your spouse. And that's at retirement. While you are contributing to the pension plan, though, or your organization is contributing on your behalf, there are life and disability benefits that you are eligible for. The Social Security Administration has on their website that a 25-year-old American today has a 1 in 4 chance of experiencing some level of disability by the time they are age 65. Now, just glancing at this room, I think there are, more than 8 people in this room, which would indicate there might be 2 of you in this room that would experience some level of disability at some point during your working career. The death benefits are available for a spouse and also for children, particularly children under age 21. In that if something should happen to you and you pass away, your family would receive some benefits, whether that would be an ongoing pension for your spouse, a temporary pension for your children until they reach age 21. And then there are also some higher education benefits for children, up to $20,000 per child. And an advantage that pension fund has for ministers is that you can declare housing allowance, obviously, while you are actively in ministry. When you retire and start drawing your pension plan benefits, those are also eligible for housing allowance to be declared, which means you may not pay any income tax on the contributions going in. You may not pay any income tax on the contributions coming out. Also, the pension plan is eligible for additional credits through special apportionments, and what special apportionments are. Once a year, our board of directors takes a look at our reserves and makes a determination. We are a nonprofit. Pension fund is a nonprofit. So as a nonprofit, we don't have to return any of our earnings back to stockholders. In fact, you are actually our stockholders. And so when we do have excess reserves, our board of directors may declare what's called a special apportionment, where they take those excess reserves and they return them back to our members who are participating in the pension plan. And that includes active members who are contributing to the pension plan. It includes inactive members who have an account with us but are not actively contributing at this time. And it includes our retirees who are drawing their pension. And just as a indication of what the special apportionments have been the last 2 years, a year ago in 2021, there was a 10.5% special apportionment awarded to our pension plan members. And then July 1st of this year, there was an additional 10% special apportionment awarded to our pension plan members. What that means is if you were retired and receiving a pension, last year you got a 10.5% increase. This year you got another 10% increase. If you were actively contributing to your pension and not drawing on it yet, the size of your pension account grew by an additional 10.5% last year and then an additional 10% this year. We're talking a little bit more about the pension plan today than we will about some of our other accounts. And Gabe will explain why here in just a little bit. I mentioned there were 2 employer-sponsored accounts. The other is a tax-deferred retirement account, which is a 403B account. It's basically the nonprofit version of a 401k that you may have heard of out in the corporate world. You can contribute to it on pre-tax dollars, or you can contribute to a Roth 403B, which is after-tax dollars that are contributed, but then your account will never be taxed once you retire and start drawing it. I did hear in some of your comments that some of you have employment at churches right now. I would ask, you don't have to answer, but ask the question anyway, are you covered by retirement benefits through that church? Gabe and I'd be happy to visit with you offline if you are not, and get a little bit more information from you and talk about the possibility of how you might be able to be eligible for retirement benefits through your current employer while you're going to school. So anyway, that is the tax deferred retirement account. That's all I'm going to say about it today.
And now we get to the student gift program, which is why we're here today, right? You guys are students, and our student gift program is our way of walking with ministers and those who serve in different capacities in the church and outside of the church, walking with them before they start their journey in ministry. So we walk with you while you're in seminary all the way to retirement. And the student gift program is a great head start on a pension and savings for retirement. This is a free program to students that are affiliated with Disciples. There is a gift of up to $3,360 from pension fund into a pension plan account, your pension plan account. Out of this, there is a monthly retirement benefit for life. This will not be taken away after you graduate and you get a position in a ministry. This stays with you. It includes death and disability benefits, so it works exactly like a pension plan while you're in seminary without having to work at an organization. And it's also available for special apportionments. So you are getting the 3,360 plus the special apportionments when approved. These credits are added to your account. And I don't know how many of you guys are in the student gift program. Can you raise your hand if you are in the student gift program, just real quick, just to see? One. Okay, that's not enough. When I was going to seminary, DSF would send me an email every year at the beginning of the semester and tell me about this program so that we would sign up, and I never did it. And it's one of the worst decisions that I ever made, because I would have a lot more money in my pension if I would have done this. But I understand when we're in school, there's just so much going on. Life is happening, school's happening, the world is happening, and we kind of put it off. But I want to encourage you right now to it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to do this application. It takes about 5 minutes to email it to Belva for signature and to your school representative, and then you're done. And this is a program that's good up to 4 years. So if you're doing seminary, you could either finish it in 3 years or 4 years. And I heard some of you are still in your third year or fourth year. If you have not signed up anyway, and get the credits that you can while you're still in there. This is a great program for seminary students. And I encourage you highly, don't do the same mistake I did and sign up for this. And Rod will talk about some of the programs that you and your spouse will be eligible for when you sign up for the student gift program. Once you are a member of with Pension Fund, you are eligible for these following products.
Thanks, Gabe. Yes. Once you're a participating member with Pension Fund, you and your spouse are both eligible for the individual products that we have, including the individual retirement accounts or IRAs, both the traditional IRA, which could be pre-tax, and the Roth IRA, which would be after-tax contributions. Also, you and your spouse would be eligible to roll over an account that you may have from a previous employer. If you wanted to bring it to Pension Fund, that is an eligible purpose. You would be eligible if you're a member of Pension Fund. And like I said, that includes both you and your spouse on the IRAs. And this chart here just gives a little reaffirmation of what I just said about the eligibility. Once you're a pension fund member, you are eligible to roll 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, 457 tax, pre-tax accounts that you may have to a pension fund product. And Gabe and I'd be very happy to visit with you about that. The account that we touched on earlier, that is the only non-retirement account that we have, once you're a member of Pension Fund participating in either pension plan or the 403b program, is our benefit accumulation account. It's a savings account. It's a high yield savings account that you use it as a savings account. It's not as easy as just going online and transferring $200 from your savings to your checking account. It's a little more involved than that. But the purpose of the benefit accumulation account can be whatever purpose you want it to be for. You can have multiple accounts. Many people use it saving up for vacations or down payment on a home or future education expenses. You have full access to this account at all times. Once a year after the end of December, you'll get a statement from us indicating how much interest you've earned, and you file that with your tax returns just like you do with a traditional bank savings account. But this particular account earns interest in two ways. One is a base interest rate. Right now, it's paying 3%. This is a liquid savings account. It's not tied up on a long-term basis with a bank. It's a liquid account, but we're paying 3% in what we call a base interest rate. And regardless of what goes on in the market, there will always be some positive base interest rate paid somewhere between 1% and 6%. Right now it's 3%. It tends to be fairly stable. It was 2.5% for about 5 or 6 years. It just changed about a year ago, went up to 3%. And then similar to our other accounts, when reserves have grown and are in excess of what we're required to maintain, our board of directors may take those excess reserves and return them to you as something that's called a good experience credit. That's just additional interest that comes back to you. However, last year, the board of directors awarded good experience credits of 10.6% on this account, which means for 2021, this account earned over 13%. This is not a retirement account. This is a savings account. You have full access to it at all times. And similar to all of our other accounts, there are never any fees that are assessed to you for your individual accounts. All the returns are net of fees. It's a great program. If you are a current pension fund member and have not signed up for one of these, I strongly encourage you to take a look at this. If you're about to sign up on the student gift program, you will be eligible to sign up for a benefit accumulation account as well.
Thank you, Rod. And personally, the benefit accumulation account is my favorite account, just because it's just so easy to move. And I was getting 0.02% at Chase a couple years back before I opened my BAA. So if you are in the program, I encourage you to do that as well. And I want to talk a little bit about our ministerial relief and assistance programs that Pension Fund offers. So like we said, we are very interested in your overall well-being, and we know that that's just it's money for sure, but it's more than that. So this is the bridge that we say bridges the minister with our programs, and there are 3 sections, and the first one is the new and active clergy. This is the programs for new and active clergy. The student gift we already discussed, and I'll highlight the ones that I think would pertain more to some of you. The Excellent in Ministry program is a program that you could join after when you're in your first 5 years of ministry. So after you graduate seminary, you get your first call, and you're in those first 5 years of ministry. And it's financial training program that at the end, when you complete it, you actually get $10,000 grant that you could use either for to pay down student loans or to pay off a credit card debt. And it's a program where you have to be in Indianapolis a couple times, I think a couple times a year in person. But it's a great program that assists you in how to budget, how to handle life and ministry, and those both together. And then the low interest loans, once you are a graduate of the Excellence in Ministry program, there's some low interest loans offered to you in there. Our emergency aid is for ministers who are going through some kind of emergency. This is one of our biggest MRA programs, because there's always emergencies, right? There's always emergencies in life. And this is a great program where we get to support pastors in their most difficult times of transition, times of a big move, house moving, ministry transition, hospital bills. The emergency aid never pays directly to the member, but they do pay off the invoices that are bringing that burden. So that's a great thing to have as a member. And then we have some health and wellness products that I'll offer soon. Vocational counseling is for those who are working in full-time ministry, but are thinking to go to part-time ministry because they want to or because they have to. Like myself, I am bivocational, and bivocational counseling is a very useful tool in this time. And there's also funeral support. If somebody in your immediate family passes away, pension fund has some support for you in there. Our congregational partnerships are also very well received by our members. Parental leave support is a fairly new one, where adopted children or new children are eligible for parental leave. So if the church can't support you in your parental leave because they just don't have the funds, pension fund will get together with your congregation, and we'll talk about how can together serve you in this time for parental leave. We have a disaster relief. When there's disasters around the country, we support pastors and their congregation in supporting the pastors because there's no money coming into the church. So that's a great program as well. I know sometimes when we go to seminary, we don't feel called to a church, but we may feel called to chaplaincy work. So there is some kind of chaplaincy support in pension fund. And one of my favorite ones is the new church program, which is if you are in 5 years of starting a new church that is recognized by your region, pension fund will help that church support the pastor with a pension plan. And it works in a 5-year bracket. So for example, the first year pension fund will pay 12% of the 14% for a pension plan, and the church only has to pay 2%. And then the following year, the second year, pension fund will pay 9%, and the church will pay the rest. And then so it goes lower every year from pension fund so that the church can continue to grow and help the pastors in this way. And then the last one is retiree support. Once you're done with seminary, once you've served in ministry and you're retired, we do offer pension support, which is for pastors who have a very small pension plan. Pension fund recognizes that not all pastors are the same. We all come from different backgrounds, so different churches that may have not been able to support in the right context. So the pension supports helps pastors receive the pension that they deserve in retirement. And that is a really awesome program. The 13th check is our check that we send our ministers in December. We send them 2 checks instead of one, because we know December is a very high month for expenses. So we do the 13th check, which is an awesome program as well. And then there's some healthcare assistance for retirees that it's a little bit more detailed in our website. But these are our ministerial relief programs that bridges to your financial wellness. And some that we want to highlight is your money line. When you're a member with pension fund, you are eligible for your money line at no cost to you. And this is unlimited access to the financial concierge team who will help you answer your toughest money questions with empathy and confidentiality. And that's really important to us, that you know that this is confidential. Nobody will know what you're talking about or who you are. This is a private, unique program where you get your own personal concierge to help you with difficult decisions. You get calculators, tracking tools, and you could even do some e-learning courses on there, and it's completely free. Like I said, I've used this many times. It's helped me so much to understand the way I'm using my money and how my money is using me. And the last time I used it, I was trying to figure out if I should buy out my lease for a car, and they really helped me to see the benefits of each one and helped me decide what was best for me. So it's a free program. So if you've never used it and you're a member of pension fund, use it. And if you apply to the student gift program, that's also there for you for your budgeting. And also we have partnered up with Learn to Live, which is a program that uses cognitive behavioral therapy to help our members in times of stress. So we all know that healthcare is expensive, therapy is expensive, and this is one tool that pension fund gives to its members to get help when they need it. And it's available for for the member and members of their immediate family who are 13 and older. And it's a great way to just walk slowly with when you're going through tough situations. And the key benefits of these are immediate 24 access to self-paced programs, the ability to start, stop, and save your progress as you go. Again, there is no cost to you or your family when you use it. It's as effective as in-person therapy, and there is coaching available via phone, email, and text. And again, this is private and confidential, so nobody will know anything that they're talking to or that you're inputting in the computer. And I've also used this program a couple of times because just life comes at you hard sometimes. So it's a great tool to just see where you're at and get some help when you need it and you can't get help anywhere else. So these are some of the programs that we offer for ministerial relief and assistance. Like we said, it's for the whole well-being of the minister. And I'll let Rod finish this off here.
Okay, thanks, Gabe. The next step, if any of you do not currently participate in the student gift program, you need to get with Gabe and find out if you're eligible and if you can. It really and truly is a free pension that we get you started with. The whole purpose is just to make you familiar with it. When you graduate, you go to work with a church. Many times the churches will provide pension benefits to the ministers. This kind of gives you a leg up on that, and also gives you a talking point when you're talking to a church, if that's where you're going, talking with the church on your compensation. When they make that initial contact about a call with you, you can talk about the pension fund and know what you're talking about. So please reach out to Gabe, sign up. It's a great program. It's funded by a grant from the Lilly Fund. It's not Lilly Foundation. It's not dollars that are coming out of our members' pockets in lower returns or anything like that. It's actually funded by a grant. So it's there and it's available. Please sign up for it. That's our presentation for today. Happy to take any questions. I think we ran maybe a little bit longer than 20 or 25 minutes, Jess. I apologize for that.
We do have some questions in the chat. Can we go over those right now?
You bet.
Okay. Zaid
yeah.
asked, I think related to the student gift program, do you have to be under care in order to qualify?
Dave?
So every region has a different definition for undercare, and I know that's sometimes confusing when we talk about the student gift program. But for pension fund purposes, if you are a DSF person, that means you're recognized by disciples, and therefore you qualify. So in your application, you will fill it out, and it needs 2 signatures for it to be approved. One by your school representative to kind of let us know that you are in school and that you are in the MDiv program. And then the second signature is by somebody in the region, the regional minister. So that would be Richie Sanchez in the PSWR. In Northern California, that's Reverend Latanya Bynum. And so that lets us know that you are a disciple, and that's how the eligibility works.
Thank you. We have a question from Sandy. How do we keep the pension fund active if we are not working, having contributions made?
It's a great question. If you are an ordained minister, you are allowed to pay what we consider, or what we call, minimum pension dues, which is $17.50 a month. While you're not actually participating, you may not be employed at a church, you might be doing something different, you might be in the search and call process and not working at that time. But as an ordained minister, you can pay minimum pension dues. It keeps your account, quote unquote, active. The reason that's important is if it goes totally inactive, once you come back in and start making those contributions again, Then there's a 12-month ramp up period for the life and disability benefits. So it keeps your life and disability benefits active while you're in that transition time. And it's pretty simple to do that. We can set up there's a form out there, and we can have you fill that out and even auto debit your bank account each month for $17.50.
And the last question we have in the chat from Aaron, I think we touched on this. Is there one-on-one consulting available? I put Reverend Gabe's email in the chat. So please, we encourage you to reach out to him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, reach out to us and we could talk about it. One thing we do always mention is that we're not financial advisors, but we will do our best to give you the information needed where we can.
Great, thank you so much. Are there other questions? Or Rod, were you gonna say something there? Something else? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think there's another question in the chat.
Yeah, Gloria, there is a form for the savings account, but before you fill out that savings account form, you would need to fill out the student gift program form to become a member. So once you become a member, all the other programs are available for you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Rod and Gabe, for doing this for us. This is, I think this is valuable information, and it just encourages, like that email you get that you don't really read or whatnot. This really kind of puts some meat on the bones, if you will. And I just want to invite everybody who signed on and was here today, pass the word to one of your peers about this and put them in touch with Gabe. And if they happen to not be in his region, he'll know who to connect them with, because our students now are from far and wide, and some of them may not be in Gabe's region. But he'll help you be connected. So help spread the word, if you will, about what you've learned today from the Pension Fund. And if you have particular questions that you may have felt like this was not the space to ask them, reach out to Gabe and he'll be able to respond to you. All right. So I just wanted to let you all know. So if you want to say thank you, if you will, to Gabe and Rod for that. This is great. This is great. That's right, Sandy. Raise the roof. All right. Again, I'm referring to this as DSF Connect and our DSF fellowship time or activities or whatever. And because we're in a variety of different places and don't have a central place to gather, then again, we will do other events similar to this one. The next one is actually scheduled for September 23. It's the Covenant Project. Some of you hopefully have heard about the Covenant Project. This is a project town hall meeting, and our Office of General Minister and President, they've been very generous to do a specific town hall meeting on the Covenant Project just for DSF related seminarians and friends. And so if you're available and you want to know more about how the denomination is structured and some possible proposed changes that are going to come to the floor at the General Assembly in 2023, then please, if you're available, September 23rd, and we've scheduled these at 12 o'clock noon, thinking Pacific time, maybe you can bring your lunch and eat or whatever while you're participating in these, but it'll be at noon on Yes, at noon on September 23rd, okay? And Jess Kim will send out a communication to remind you. So just know that that could be a really good time to learn a little bit more about the denomination and what's happening right now in terms of some things that will be put before the General Assembly in 2023. And then the third Disciple Connect event we have for this semester is October 13th, and it's interested in being a chaplain. So the Reverend Tom Yates will join us and talk about chaplaincy. So we really encourage you to do that. And then just, be aware and be alert that you may get an email about another one that we might do before the semester ends, but then we'll schedule a number of them in the spring semester as well. And the possibilities range from our Division of Overseas Ministries, Global Ministries, to the Disciple Homeland Ministries Office, to the National Benevolent Association. We're just looking at the wider church expressions and wanting to help all of us know more about that, about these different expressions in the church, to be informative and supportive for you as you go forward. Let me just check in with Shobi and Jess to see if there are other announcements that need to be made today that I may have overlooked. Can either one of you think of anything else?
Sorry, I think I heard you correctly, Belva. The date for the Tom Yates presentation is October 3rd.
Okay. I wrote down 13th. When is it?
It's October 3rd.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Great, October 3rd, great. What time? It'll be 12 o'clock, 12 to 1 Pacific time. So at the same time on the 3rd. Thank you. Thank you for that. Right. Anything else? Well, one of the other things we've asked that if you participate in one of these, if you would take a moment just to jot down 3 thoughts that you had about the experience. And you can just put them in an email and send them to Jess or to me or to Shobi. But it would just 3 thoughts that you had about the event today, and likewise in for subsequent events. It also helps us to have some idea, to helps us with our planning and to help us kind of focus our ideas about how we can best connect with you these days. All right. If there is nothing else for today, I am going to close us with a benediction or a blessing. This morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I was in a meeting with our moderator team that included our General Minister and President and staff from that Office of General Minister and President, and our moderators. There are 3 other persons, and the prayer that we use to open our time together is one that I want to share with you now as a benediction, a blessing for you as you go about your day. I'm going to read the prayer 3 times. It gives us an opportunity to hear the words. It's not very long, but to hear it be read 3 times helps you to not miss the gem that is embodied in this prayer. So if you will pray with me. O Sun behind all suns, O soul within all souls, grant me the grace of dawn's glory. Grant me the strength of the sun's rays, that I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day, that I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day. O sun behind all suns, O soul be within all souls. Grant me the grace of dawn's glory. Grant me the strength of the sun's rays, that I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day. That I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day. O sun behind all suns, O soul within all souls, grant me the grace of dawn's glory. Grant me the strength of the sun's rays, that I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day. That I may be well in my own soul and part of the world's healing this day. Amen. Thank you all again for being here. We look forward to seeing you again, all right, soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.